What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 4 of the Too Savage for Democrats show. My name is Dylan. I am your host, and we have a ton of topics today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Young Turks and their cult following. They just have an absolute cult following. I made this video on my main channel roasting the Young Turks. I took one of their loser Donald videos and basically just kind of pointed out the flaws in it. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Just basically, the Young Turks have just their cult following. These people that follow the Young Turks have just completely rated it. Instagram is going crazy and just banning a bunch of political accounts. We've got some political news. It's going to be a massive show today, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be fantastic. I hope you enjoy. Let's get right into it. All right, we have to start off with this whole Young Turk situation because I just mentioned it at the beginning. So basically, I do this series on my channel called the 3-Minute Roast. And if you want to watch those, my main channel is Dylan's Daily Show with a little apostrophe. You can go check that out, like Dylan apostrophe S Daily Show. You can go check that out. I put 3-Minute Roast. I've done a lot of them, and people really enjoy that kind of thing. And I do it as kind of a way. It's not really just to be hilarious. I try to make it where I just kind of point out flaws in the argument that the other person's making. I used to start it off where I just criticize a group, like I did a feminist and I did Black Lives Matter, but then I've recently started going after individual videos. Like I did that Milo Stewart cringe thing, and then I did now the Young Turks, then I did some video by some other YouTuber who was talking about how she's accepting her privilege, everything like that. It was total cringe. But that's what I do on these videos, and people really enjoy them. So I finally decided to go after the Young Turks. People have been asking me to do that for a while. I'm a really small channel over there. I only have about 4,000 subs. But someone told me, they were like, hey, go after the Young Turks. And I've been getting that request a lot because just a lot of people on the right, a lot of conservatives dislike the Young Turks because of how liberal they are. And first of all, let me just say, I have respect for the Young Turks. I think the Young Turks are a respectable news organization. They do a professional job. I don't agree with their opinions at all. Right, I don't agree with anything they say at all, but I think that they have a good setup going on, I guess is the way to say it. Right, they're not unprofessional. It's not like they're more professional than me. Obviously, that's not very hard, and so I don't want to sit here and criticize how they are because they're better than me. They have their whole staff. They've been doing it for a while. I think like 10 years, something like that. They've been doing this for a while. It's good. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't like their opinions. So I decided they do this segment, which kind of triggered me. It's called Loser Donald, right? And basically what they do is they do it every day up to the election. And what they do is they take something that they don't agree with Donald Trump on, and they criticize him. And the one that I didn't like at all was the one where they were going after him. And I do this in the video. You can go check it out. They go after him, and I'll link that roast in the bio if you want to go check that out. But I don't know if I'm sure a lot of my people that watch these or listen to these podcasts also watch my main channel, but we'll just do it anyway. So Donald Trump, they talk about how he tried to get into entertainment and how he tried to apply to get into an entertainment school, and then he tried his hand in plays, and then he had The Apprentice and all that stuff, and basically Shank, whatever you pronounce his name, I don't know. He's criticizing Donald Trump for attempting to get into entertainment, but he couldn't do it. Right? That's the whole point of this video. And if you can go watch it, that's the entire point of the video, is that he's criticizing Donald Trump because Donald Trump tried to get into entertainment, but he couldn't do it. And that irritated me, right? Because if you have a passion for something, you should pursue that passion, regardless of what it is, regardless of how unrealistic it may seem. You should pursue that passion. And I believe that strongly. And I knew about the whole Donald Trump entertainment thing. I knew that he tried to go to the entertainment school and all that. And so it was kind of just, I felt that it was very unnecessary that they went after him for that. But you could tell they're just kind of running out of loser Donald stuff. Like they started off with some good points against Donald Trump, stuff that the liberals don't typically bring up because, they actually started off with some good arguments. I could debunk them, but they started off with them. And then now they're moving into crap, like entertainment stuff. Pardon me. So I decided to roast them. And I make the video, and my followers love it. My subscribers love it. But apparently, the video is being recommended to people who are watching the Young Turks. So someone will get done watching a Young Turks video, boom, my video is recommended right there, right? And so they're fresh off their Young Turks liberal media bias, and then they see my video, which is in horrible quality because my camera was being repaired, and I had to use my 720p webcam, and it, which I don't really care what they think about the quality. I hadn't done one with face cam before, so that was an upgrade anyway. But so they see my video, they come on, and it's just absolutely being raided by these Young Turks. And I'm telling you right now, the Young Turks has a cult following. They have a cult following. These people that follow the Young Turks, these people that subscribe to the Young Turks, they're mindless liberals. They're like, because they're Hillary Clinton supporters, right? So they're mindless. They don't have a grasp on reality, on what's really going on. If I go to the video right here, look at that, 168. Okay, so it has 2,618 views right now. It's still going up. It's getting a lot of views, and a lot of it, but it has 168 thumbs up, 94 thumbs down. 94. That's a lot, right? And my thumbs, I mean, if I look at my analytics on YouTube, which I don't really care, right? When you make controversial political videos, you're going to get a lot of thumbs down, right? That's how divided this country is. And it's always going to be that way. And that's the really unfortunate thing about it, is that, when you make videos that are controversial, when you go after people who are big, that's what's going to happen. That's just absolutely what's going to happen. And it doesn't really bother me, right? I kind of, in a way, kind of enjoy it, because it shows that what I am doing is, and I wouldn't really say, like, what my goal of it was to kind of start a conversation, kind of respond to them, because a lot of people don't. So I wanted to start a conversation, but in the comments, I mean, it's just complete and total, like, there's a whole thing, keep your day job, which I don't get that at all. I still have my day job, but there's one person, did you really say they're a respectable news organization? Really, Dylan? Like some guy who clearly doesn't like the Young Turks. But there's a lot of support down here. There's a lot of weird stuff. The holy, F, this guy is brainwashed by Donald. He even called the trust fund that his father gave Donald a small loan. Neither of those words are accurate. Please stop spreading misinformation. This is some guy from the Young Turks. There's a whole thing here. I mean, you can go check these out. Someone commented, nah, you're the brainwashed one underneath. I'm going to put, I agree. So I'm responding to comments like right now. But why didn't it let me? There we go. But yeah, no, just everything here is just, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of love too, which I really enjoy. I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me, but there's a lot of hate on this video. So if you guys want to check out the full video, it's down in my description below of this thing. But yeah, the Young Turks and their cult following, man, they're just completely going after me hardcore, but it's kind of funny at the same time. I kind of enjoy it. And who knows, I may do it again sometime, because it's just, I really like to start a conversation, and I feel like this is a good way to do it, is you have to get them to come over anyway. And I don't know. I understand, like, just this country's so divided, and this is the perfect example of it. I make a satire video criticizing a liberal news organization from a conservative perspective, and they just go completely ham. Just anybody that disagrees with me just goes completely ham in the comments, just says a bunch of mean stuff, right? They're just, well, you Dylan, you stupid idiot. Dylan, you stupid idiot. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of, but that just shows how divided this country is. Like, we can't even have a satire bit without being completely competitive. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move into the Instagram banning, which is the other side of the social media part of today's show, and then we'll get into news topic I want to talk about today. But so Instagram is banning a ton of accounts. So I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why. But my friend Noah, who ran Trump-Pence for 2016, he was banned, which I don't get. Okay, I looked over at the terms and conditions of, what you have to follow, and I'm reading it closely because I don't want to get banned, so I'm making sure I am in, making sure I understand all the terms and conditions, because I really don't want to get banned. But here it says, so Aztec versus the World was this other account that got banned, and he was a little bit more controversial, right? He posted a little bit more edgy stuff, I guess you could say. So he got a little message that said, your account has been disabled for not following our terms. You won't be able to log into this account, and no one else will be able to see it. The following things are not allowed on Instagram, and they have little bullet points: support for a violent and or criminal organization or group, credible threats to harm others or the promotion of self-destructive behavior, targeting individuals, hate speech, singling people out based on race, ethnicity, national, blah, 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 graphic content, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how it works particularly, so I'm not sure if I were to make a video, or a post, and maybe I said something about Black Lives Matter and how we should. The guy who got banned, Aztec versus the World, was really into the whole physical removal thing. He's a nice guy. I'm not dogging on him at all. Anyway, I promise. He's a great guy, but he is into the physical removal thing, right? Let's physically remove all leftists from the United States. I don't get on board with that, but he does, which is his right. So if someone reported his page saying that he's targeting a group of people, Instagram could go in and they could be really nitpicky with that, because they could look and say, "Oh, look, he said this." I can see from a perspective of the left, which is hard to see from because it's complete and total cancer. But I can see why they removed Nick, right? I don't see why they removed Trump Pence for 2016, my friend Noah. I don't see why. He had a very professional account. He had 40.7 thousand followers. I don't understand why they banned him. I just don't get it. He has a new account now, Right Wing Roast, if you guys want to go follow him on Instagram. He does YouTube, Twitter. It's great. I'm glad that he had so much motivation to get back into it. I don't know if I would. But yeah, he's doing all that, but I just don't know why he got banned. And Instagram is just cracking down on all these accounts, just absolutely cracking down on all these accounts. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see where it goes from here. I hope that I don't get taken down. I'm trying really hard to make sure that I am staying within all the terms and conditions, but who knows? Tomorrow's video could be titled, "I got banned from Instagram." Who knows? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I guess that's really all I have to talk about on the social media aspect of today's show. We'll move into the news. I don't know if we're going to cover the whole Ryan Lochte situation. That's just, I don't even want to talk about that. You guys have heard every single opinion on that already, and he's just complete and total scum, so I don't want to talk about that. I mean, why would you lie about something like that? Why would you lie about being held at gunpoint? Why would you do it? It's just so dumb. Clearly, he just wanted attention. But anyway, let's just move on with the show, talking about some more big news stories of the day. All right, so I know that in yesterday's video, I said that I didn't really want to criticize Obama on this whole Louisiana flooding thing and the fact that he's not going to visit, but I've changed my mind. And I just want to do a little bit here to talk about that, because it really frustrated me what Secretary of Defense Jay Johnson, or Homeland Security Secretary, Jay Johnson said. But first of all, Trump and Pence are apparently going there. They're going to visit. So Obama, and so they're going. So that's good, right? Jay Johnson, Obama sends the Homeland Security Secretary to visit Louisiana, and just to kind of reassure the people there that, everything's fine. Obama really cares about you. He's doing a good job. And obviously the question came up while he was there, because he's obviously a pawn being sent by Obama. I mean, if you don't think that Jay Johnson was a pawn being sent by Obama to this location, you're just a complete idiot. That's exactly what he was doing. So he was asked during a press conference if Obama would take time from his vacation at Martha's Vineyard to visit the state. Okay, so Obama, remember, he's on vacation. He's playing golf. There's pictures of him. He's out there playing golf. And like I said in yesterday's show, I'm completely fine with presidents taking vacations. I feel like they deserve to take vacations. I think that being leader of the free world is a difficult job. They should be able to take vacations. I don't have a problem with that. But when a natural disaster strikes, the vacation comes second, right? If you volunteered to run for president, you became leader of the free world. And this is where my opinion differs. Because I figured that yesterday, I didn't want to be too quick to jump on this bandwagon. And I still might be doing this too quickly. And Obama may be visiting tomorrow. Who knows? But when there is a natural disaster, okay, as president of the United States, it is your obligation to be there for the American people who elected you to that office. They elected you to the office of President of the United States. And so if you are on vacation, let's say you run a company, okay? You run a company, you're on vacation. Let's say the building starts on fire, okay? So let's say I have a company in New York City, all right? I'm like, hey, I'm going down to Florida for a few weeks, just on vacation, just kind of relax, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I go to Florida. My building catches on fire in New York City, burns down. What do you think I'd do in that? What would be the logical thing to do? Would it be to stay in Florida and send somebody else to the fire and just reassure the people that are there, reinsure the insurance company, reinsure everybody? Oh, Dylan cares. He's just on vacation. No. The logical thing to do would be go take care of your damn building, right? You go back there, you figure out what's going on, you get everything sorted out. Vacation comes second when there's something like that happens. President Obama, the United States, the people of the United States are his building, quote unquote, his building. Those are his people. They voted for him. He is supposed to do. He's supposed to be there for the people. And so if you're on vacation golfing in Martha's Vineyard and there's a terrible flood in Louisiana, you leave Martha's Vineyard and you go to the damn flood. All right? That's what you do. But that would be too logical for Obama. So Jay Johnson said, quote, "As I said, the president can't be everywhere. I know he has a very busy schedule this fall and in the coming days." So because he has a busy schedule, he can't fly down to Baton. He has his own plane. Air Force One is him. He could go down there for a day, come back that night. He could make it happen. Don't tell me he can't reschedule things. Are you kidding me? If he wanted to go down there and he felt like it was politically expedient, he would be down there. Did you see how quickly he was at Sandy when Hurricane Sandy hit? Could you imagine if there was a gun crime, how quickly he'd be over there? It would be ridiculous. He'd leave Martha's Vineyard, be right over there at the gun place so he could push his political agenda. Sandy, of course he shows up. It's in the middle of the election. He wanted to win the election. Oh, but Louisiana? Oh, he's about to leave office, so he doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care about you. Why would he care about you? Yeah, but Dylan Trump's going down there. He's doing it because of the election. Fine. He may be doing it because of the election. I admit that. We don't know what Trump would do in this sort of case if he was president because he's not president yet. If you want to find out what Trump would do in this case if he was president, elect him as president of the United States. Let's find out. Because we know Hillary doesn't care. We know Hillary doesn't care. Look at Benghazi. Calling for extra security. Not politically expedient enough to help those people, so we'll just let them die. That was her thought process. And now Obama's making the same thought process with these people in Louisiana. My vacation is more important than your flood and your families that voted for me, so thanks for voting for me, but I don't need your vote anymore, so I'm not coming. That's exactly what it looks like. Now, that might not be what it is, but that's exactly what it looks like. I'm just talking from what it looks like. He assured the people of Louisiana, this is on Breitbart, he assured the people of Louisiana that Obama was monitoring the disaster from his vacation home in Martha's Vineyard. Oh, guys, I've been proven wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Obama's in Martha's Vineyard just monitoring the situation from over there, so we don't have to be concerned about anything. Everything's going to be fine because Obama's monitoring it from Martha's Vineyard. God, what does he pull out his phone? Take a look. Oh, let me look at some of these. Oh, look, what is he monitoring? The horribleness, the disaster, the floods all over the place, the people dying, people without homes. I mean, what's he monitoring? Come on, do something. But he's always been doing anything but it. Quote, "When you are the chief executive of the entire U.S. government, you can't be everywhere, including places you would like to be." Oh, he can't be a place he would like to be, so he doesn't want to be at Martha's Vineyard? Is that what Jay Johnson's telling me right now? That was a quote from Jay Johnson, by the way. Was that he can't be at Martha's Vineyard? If he doesn't like to be if he can't be at places he like to be, clearly he just hates. Basically, the point he's making is that he hates Martha's Vineyard, but he wants to be in Louisiana, but he just can't because Martha's Vineyard is too. You know, he has to be there. That's his duty as president of the United States. Which again, vacations are fine, but when there's a natural disaster, you go visit the site. Quote, "The president is welcome to visit wherever he wants to visit," he said. "When he wants to visit, we're going to receive him and we're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch." That was Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards, who is a Democrat, of course. So, of course, a Democrat's fine with it. He's going to make excuses. But could you imagine if this was Bush or if this was Trump? Could you imagine if Trump was at Trump golf course in Florida? Natural disaster, Trump doesn't show up. And then the Democrat governor in the state be like, "This man is racist. Look at all these people who have lost their homes. Oh, Trump is racist. He's not." It'd be the whole spiel. I mean, we already know what they'd say. My frustration is that President Obama won't leave his vacation to go visit these people. And I'm not going to make this point over and over again, but you get it, right? You get the point. I mean, you have to be very, very illogical to not understand where I'm coming from with this. I feel like I'm making a valid point. I feel like Obama should be there, but that's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to go on about it all day because we have much more to cover. All right, so we have some more amazing news coming from the Trump campaign. It seems like he's getting a lot of good news in August. If you looked back in late July, after both conventions, it appeared as if Donald Trump was just on this downward spiral. You know, these polls were coming out. Donald Trump was 8 points behind, 10 points. He was doing pretty badly. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was getting a little nervous. But at the same time, I realized that these polls, a lot of the time at least, are very, very skewed in the way that they are presented and the people they're polling. But there's a new poll, and so it seems kind of hypocritical for me, and I get it. And I say this every time I talk about a poll, for me to talk about how skewed the polls are, then come out and report a poll that I agree with. But I do have a new poll here from Breitbart. It's not a Breitbart poll, it's a Pew poll, but it's showing some good news for Donald Trump. Now, Pew is pretty accurate, and we're going to get into more polls. This is when it's crunch time. We're in August now. It's August 19th as I'm recording this and we are at the time now when we're getting in toward the election, right? Next month, September, then October, then November, and that's when the election is. We have to start, if Donald Trump wants to start winning, and if he wants to win at all, he needs to start mounting more serious campaign. Now, we know Paul Manafort just resigned after the whole Ukraine scandal. Basically, he had ties with Ukraine. There's a whole scandal about that. He resigned. A guy from Breitbart took over as a campaign manager. A lot of shakeup going on in the Trump campaign. But it seems to be working. He's going more teleprompter, less off the cuff. He's not going to be saying as much stupid stuff anymore, and which is good because the media takes everything he says, regardless of how regardless of what a good point it is. If he says something weird, the media just spins it out of proportion. So he needs to make sure he's not making any mistakes. He needs to cross his T's and dot his I's. So he's been doing that. Shake up in the Trump campaign, which isn't good. I mean, you don't want to have this many shakeups, obviously. What are you going to do, right? I mean, it's not like he's had a lot of shakeups, but it's not like he can do anything about it. That's just what's going on. So, Breitbart poll. This is on Breitbart poll. Donald Trump, aided by Hillary Clinton, halves her early August lead. Now, here we go. Now, a new poll adds evidence that Donald Trump has halved the roughly 8-point gap that Hillary Clinton experienced in early August. Pew poll of registered voters, and that's the big one right there, registered voters. Those are the polls you want to look at. You don't want to look at the polls. If you look at a lot of these polls from the liberal media, a lot of them say potential voters. It says, we registered, potential voter. You can look at the bottom. I mean, it says what type of people, what group of people they polled. A lot of them say potential voters. Those are not the polls you want to look at. You do not want to look at polls of potential voters. You want to look at polls of registered voters. Registered voters are the ones who are probably going to be voting. The potential voters, they're just really supporters. Some of those people probably aren't going to be voting. They're potential voters, right? Potential. I'm potentially voting for Hillary Clinton. I'm potentially voting for Donald Trump. Those polls aren't accurate. Registered voters, those are the ones you want to look at. They voted before. They're registered. And they're probably going to vote again. Okay, so those are the people you want to look at. So, and whenever they poll registered voters, Donald Trump does a lot better, just massively better than when they poll potential voters. Because a lot of these people that support Hillary Clinton, I don't even think they want to vote for her. I mean, there's a large majority. Okay, I think this is this way on both sides of it. But there's a lot of people on the Democrat side who prefer Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump. And this is the same. There's a lot of people on the right who prefer Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton. But they don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. Right? Just like these conservatives, they may prefer Donald Trump, but they don't want to vote for Donald Trump. It's the same kind of thing. There's going to be a lot of them on the Democrats that don't vote, a lot of them on the Republicans that don't vote. But these registered voters, these people are probably voting. So the Pew poll of registered voters shows that Trump has a 37% support, Clinton has 41%, leaving just a 4-point gap. That's less than half of the 9-point gap seen in a prior Pew poll back in June. 10% respondents preferred Libertarian Gary, blah, 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 which I love when they put them in because when they take those out, it's unrealistically, especially in an election this intense, when you've got two candidates that are just hated so much. That's when it's important to put the third-party people in because that's when you know that, because a lot of these people that hate Donald Trump, hate Hillary Clinton, they're going to be going third parties. The third parties are going to have big percentages this time around. That's why it's important to put them in there. So they're in there in this poll. Donald Trump, the evidence of a smaller gap is available in the Real Clear Politics collection of polls. So these are the ones, basically Real Clear Politics does this thing where they average a bunch of polls together, all the polls, and then they get the average number that whatever candidate's leading by. And that's, I like to look at the averages. I think the averages are more accurate than the individual polls as well. And in these averages, I think, and it shows, I'm going to read you guys off some statistics here, that Hillary Clinton is losing her lead. And we're going to get into why in a little bit. Should write that down so I don't forget. We're going to get into why in a little bit here. But first, I'm just going to kind of read off the statistics for you guys. Stupid advertisement. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Clinton led with an average of 4 points in national polls on August 18th. Her lead was 5 points in 3 national polls on August 11th. But her lead was 9 points in 4 national polls on August 9th and 8 points in 7 national polls on August 4th and 7 points on August 1st. So on July 25th, 8 national polls showed Trump with a 0.5% lead. There's a lot going around. A lot of A lot of stuff going on. But obviously, he looks like he's starting to turn this thing around. And this is crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. This is crunch time. All right? This is, you're done messing around. This is time to start being serious. It is August, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You need to start making a name for yourself. Those debates, they're going to be here lickety-split. They may seem like they're far away if you look at the debate schedule now, but if these debates are creeping. They're on the creep. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And so Donald Trump has to start preparing for these debates because he needs to make sure that he's ready to go. And he needs to make sure that he's in good standing because the debates aren't going to make that much of a difference. They'll make a little bit of a difference. They always do. But not that much of a difference. He has to do a good job in the debate, but he has to start improving now. Because people have to go into this debate with an open mind. And if he's being an idiot the whole way up to it, he's not going to have an open mind. Now, the question is, why? Good thing I wrote that down. Why is he improving? What did he do? What big change did Donald Trump make that's causing him to improve in all these polls? I really think it has a lot to do with Hillary Clinton herself. I think she's got a lot of negatives. I do think it has some to do with the fact that Donald Trump is being more professional now, doing less off-the-cuff, more teleprompter speeches, which he's really good at. Criticized Obama for doing it, but he's doing it. That's fine. But I think it has a lot to do with Hillary Clinton herself. You got these WikiLeaks emails. You got all this. And I think that here's my theory. And you can, I may be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. This is just what I think. There are a lot of people who support Donald Trump, who are going to vote for Donald Trump, who don't want to admit it. And there's also, okay, let's take Brexit, for example. Okay? Brexit showed in the polls leading up to Brexit, leading up to the morning of Brexit, the vote. That's Britain leaving the European Union, if you guys didn't know. That it wasn't going to leave. Stay was winning in the polls. Stay. That means we're going to. What ended up happening? Well, leave. Now that shows in a certain way that there's a large majority of people that are sick and tired of this whole globalism thing. Just sick and tired of it. And I think that's what you're getting. Donald Trump is against that. And his America First, his Make America Great Again and America First, those two phrases that he's been using throughout his campaign are so powerful. So powerful. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Hillary Clinton's using I'm with her, and she's got a couple others. None that really stick out. America First and Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again, America First. Those two. Those are very powerful. To be an American citizen, psychologically, and to hear we're putting American citizens first. We're putting America first. We're not putting these other countries first. We're not outsourcing jobs. We're going to make America great again. We're going to bring jobs back. We're going to fix these trade deals. We're going to blah, blah, blah. We're going to blah, blah, blah. Hearing that gets you fired up. You want to get fired up? You know what I mean? You get fired up when you hear that. You get excited. You're ready to support Donald Trump. You want to make America great again. Yeah, hell yeah, I want to make America great again. Sign me up on the Trump campaign. And I think that's what this is. I think that you're going to see, and I'm not sure, this is just a guess based on the Brexit vote and based on, based on the crowd sizes Trump gets, which I know they're not all voters, but Hillary can't hardly pull a crowd. I think that Donald Trump is going to do better in this election than a lot of people think he's going to do. Now, I don't know if he's going to win. I'm not going to predict that at this point. I'll predict that like 2 weeks before I'm not predicting that at this point. That's dumb. I hope he wins. I'm not going to predict it. But I think that he's going to do a lot better in this election than people give him credit for. I think that it doesn't matter that he's not a politician in a way that's kind of endearing. I think the stupid stuff he says is in some twisted way is kind of endearing because a lot of people see that as, oh, look, he's not a politician. He's not used to saying stuff like this. I do think it pushes some people away, but I think his core support, I think Donald Trump's core base, this is the difference between Donald Trump's core base and Hillary Clinton's core base. Donald Trump's core base is not going to leave over stupid stuff he says. Hillary Clinton's core base is made up of people who like Obama and Bernie and blah, blah, blah. They're made up for people who like other candidates. They don't like Hillary. They like other candidates. If she does something stupid, or if these emails keep coming out, whoosh, her base is disintegrating. So I think you're going to see Donald Trump do a lot better in this election. But that's all for the show today, ladies and gentlemen. I am running out of time here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I try to keep this thing around 30 minutes every day just because, and I'm working on getting video. I have everything set up. I just need to make sure everything's working well for that. But that's it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe. This is obviously my second channel. My main channel is Dylan's Daily Show. You can check me out there for more daily videos. I will catch up with you guys later. Bye-bye.